Hello there, beautiful people. Thank you so much for tuning into Mentium, the podcast that takes you on a journey to unlock the full potential of your mind. My name is Majama. I will be your host and your guide on this adventure into the fascinating realm of mindset, mental fitness, and personal growth. In each episode, I dive deep into the intricacies of the human mind, exploring the power of positive thinking, resilience, and the strategies to cultivate a mindset that propels you towards success. So buckle up for a journey of self-discovery, empowerment, and transformation. Get ready to unleash the power of your mind with Mentium. Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Mentium Podcast. As you already know, Season 2 is all about stories of impact. Today, my guest was not able to make it, so this is an opportunity for me again to speak to you directly. Here's what I believe. Sometimes our biggest breakthroughs begin with a quiet but powerful yes to ourselves. Saying yes to yourself is more than self-care or feel-good affirmation. It's about giving permission to want more, try more, take up space. It's all about trusting your inner knowing, especially when the outer world is full of noise. And sometimes it's radical, especially if you've been taught to put others first. If you've learned to minimize your voice, if you were used to waiting for external validation before you move. Here is what a yes can look like. Leaving a job that drains you, starting a business or project, walking away from a version of yourself that no longer fits you, but also asking for help, resting without guilt. So today, I want you to think about this. What does saying yes to yourself mean to you right now? And when was the last time you actually did it? Let me share again a bit of my own story. When I started my business back in 2003, 2004, I didn't have a perfect plan. I didn't have a safety net. But what I did have was an inner pull, something telling me, you can do this. And I said yes. That yes led to being named Franchisee of the Year for my very first year in business. It led to the Diamond Club Awards the next year. It led to building something that gave me freedom and ownership. But more than that, it proved to me that when you say yes to your vision, even in the face of fear, the universe meets you there. Years later, I said yes again. This time, it is about building Mentium. It was about creating a space for others to grow, to learn, and to say yes to themselves. And every step of that journey has been rooted in the same decision. I didn't wait for the perfect timing. I didn't wait until I felt ready. I just said yes and figured it out on the way. Let's pause for a moment and get honest. Why is it so hard to say yes to ourselves? Here are a few reasons. Number one is fear of failure. What if I try it and it doesn't work? Number two, fear of judgment. What will people think of me? Unworthiness. Who am I to want this? That was number three. Number four, past pain. I've tried this before and it didn't work. But here's the thing. Every yes has fear attached to it. You are not weak for being afraid. You are human. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is saying yes anyway. Now, think of a moment in your life when you said yes and it turned out to be the right choice, even if it scared you at the time. How did it feel? Now, let me share with you a real world story. And I want to talk about that of Viola Davis. At one point in her career, she realized that she was always playing roles that were handed to her, roles that didn't reflect her full humanity. So she said yes to writing her own story, producing her own work, and stepping into the power of her own voice. That yes changed everything. It wasn't easy, but it was hers. And it opened up doors for others to say yes to themselves too. The ripple effect of one yes can be generational. So please don't forget yours. When you say yes to yourself, you unlock clarity because you start moving with intention. Confidence because you learn to trust your own decisions. Momentum because one yes leads to another. You become your own permission slip. You stop waiting and start living. I want you to try this. Sit in silence. Ask yourself, what am I being called to say yes to right now? Say it out loud. Affirm it. I say yes to myself. I say yes to growth. Take one small action. Maybe it's sending that mail. Maybe it is speaking up. Maybe it's getting started, even though imperfectly. The size of the yes doesn't matter. The commitment, though, does. Let's close with a short reflection. I want you to take a deep breath. Feel your feet on the ground. Place your hand over your heart and repeat after me, out loud if you can, or quietly to yourself. I say yes to my voice. I say yes to my healing. I say yes to becoming. I say yes to the life I meant to live. Let that settle in your body. Let it rise in your spirit. Saying yes to yourself is not a one-time act. It's a daily decision to show up for the person you are becoming. If this episode spoke to you, please take a moment to share it with somebody else who needs that same yes. And inside the Mentium community, I want to hear from you. What's one thing you were saying yes to this week? Let's keep choosing ourselves again and again, because your purpose, your growth, your impact, it all begins with that yes. Until next time, keep saying yes, taking care of yourself and your loved ones. I am Majama, and this is Mentium. Peace.